Now, in 2021, chip shortage was one of the things that really hit the automotive industry, which led to, of course, companies like NIO, XPeng, or most EV companies seeing, of course, the prices that they buy these chips or these semiconductors rising. I mean, Leo Auto indicated that some of the chips which they were buying, they saw it rising by over 800%, which is something that must just show you that obviously this is one of the things that led into most of the companies or most EV companies to increase the prices for their vehicles. Now, ladies and gents, today we received wonderful news, or we read wonderful news, and that is, of course, the news indicating that the chip prices or semiconductor prices are dropping or are plummeting, which is something that is incredible and something that obviously will make companies or car companies like NIO, Leo, and XPeng to benefit from this. As like I said, this was one of the main things that made them obviously to increase their prices, and things like this, or things like spike or a surge in chip prices, also sort of like reduce their gross margins. And now getting to know that, of course, the prices of chips or semiconductors are plummeting or dropping just definitely means that companies like NIO will, of course, see, of course, the gross margins or their gross margin improving also due to this, which is something that is incredible. And the CEO of NIO also noted that yes, the prices of these chips are dropping, which is something that is incredible, but he did indicate that they are not dropping by much, or they have dropped not by much, but it is also a positive signs of saying that they could see of obviously more drops on these chips or these semiconductors, which is something, like I said, which is really interesting. And of course, like I said, not only is this going to benefit EV companies in terms of maybe the prices that, of course, they make their cars with, but it is also going to slightly boost their gross margin, which is something that is incredible, and which is something that makes me to be really confident that NIO's gross margins, together with some of the EV companies like Li Auto and XPeng, they might see some recoveries also on their gross margins as the prices of these chips decline. Now, you already know that this video is just an entertainment video. You should not take it as a professional financial advice. If you seek professional financial advice, you already know what to do by now. That is, you need to go and consult the professional. Otherwise, if you're enjoying this content, please consider hitting that like button, comment, and subscribe. That's if you have not subscribed to the channel already. And once you subscribe, don't forget to hit the notification bell so that at least you get notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. Otherwise, like I said, these cheap prices or semiconductor prices declining, it is a good advantage, or it is an advantage to the automakers like NIO, XPeng, and Leo, which is something that is incredible. I mean, me as a NIO investor, when I read this article, I was really excited to get to know that the prices of chips or semiconductors is dropping, though it's not by much, as said by the NIO CEO. But the main thing, or the good thing, is that the prices of these chips are dropping, which is always a good thing for the car producers like NIO. So according to this report we read today, some chips or some semiconductors prices fell by 80, some 90%, which, like I said, it's a good thing for car companies like, of course, NIO and other EV competitors, which is something that is incredible, and something that obviously, like I said, it might turn out to boost, of course, also their gross margin, which is something that is incredible, and something that, of course, brings a relief to these companies or these electric vehicle companies, as the pandemic led to, of course, supply constraints or brought some shortages in these chips or semiconductors, which then obviously made these suppliers of these chips, these semiconductors, to obviously increase or rise their prices sharply. I mean, imagine going to a place where you buy these chips or semiconductors, and you get there and they tell you that the chip that you used to buy by a certain amount went up by 800%. I mean, that is just awful. That is something that obviously as a company you would not really like to hear someone tell you that. I mean, 800% to me, it's just a lot. Now, to get to see that, obviously we have gotten to see these prices coming down is something that is incredible, because even when those of course the prices of chips were up there, we saw of course companies like NIO also continuing trying to produce as many cars as possible, which getting to know that these prices are now decreasing or plummeting is something that really makes a retail investor like myself to be hopeful to say that NIO will be able to produce more cars, because this just definitely means that obviously the shortages of these semiconductors might be finally coming to an end, which is something that is incredible, because then car companies like NIO will continue producing as many cars as possible. And especially with NIO knowing very well that in September they will be opening their NIO Park, which of course is going to bring in, or is going to be producing a lot more cars, or bring in more cars to of course the consumers. It is something that is incredible, and something that, like I said, it is good news, especially to us retail investors, or to me personally investing in an EV company like NIO. So this 80-90% of some of these chips of obviously is we read on the report that it is not for the automotive yet, though the automotive chips or semiconductors are also dropping. They have not dropped by much, which is what the CEO of NIO also noted or indicated, but it looks like it is promising that we might get to see the prices of these chips or semiconductors continuing to drop, which, like I said, it will benefit the automakers in China, which is something that is incredible, and something that makes me to remain bullish, stay long onto this NIO stock. So the China Passenger Car Association did indicate that people should not really worry about the supply of these chips, as obviously they are seeing, of course, the situation becoming better in the near future, which is something that is incredible, and something that must make you to remain bullish, positive on the stocks like NIO. Otherwise, with all that, guys, I just thought I should just give you this quick update as what is it that we just read today that might be a good thing, or which is definitely a good thing for an EV company like NIO. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, like I said in the beginning of this video, don't forget to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. And once you subscribe, don't forget to hit or click that notification bell, so that at least you get notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey. And before you load the boat, increase your holdings onto this NIO stock, please do make sure that you do your own DD, so that at least you can be comfortable when you are investing onto this stock. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey, and God bless you all.